I think the whole thing comes down to pricing the resource properly and using efficiently. Like I would say, give this building and say, you have only so much energy quota, so much water quota, and beyond this, I'll price you this way. People will become innovative and people will innovate. So I'm very, very optimistic that the ADB data, otherwise I don't have a job at ADB. I have to create a business and investment on this.
Bindu, I'm beginning to lose the audience because we were supposed to have concluded at 6:30. So can we just take 2 more questions? Yeah, you please, and then another. Is there another question? Please.
Prof. Bindu, I'm very heartened to hear about ADB's plans to fund this area, particularly of urban transport. But can I also suggest that as you're looking at this, that you also perhaps look into town planning architecture? Because a lot of cities, a lot of countries have town planning regulations that actually make it illegal to plan the old town style of the European style, where everything is within reach. That actually cuts out the need for a car, existentially, not attitudinally. But if you can cut that out, I think there will be a sector of the population that would follow. The other thing I think perhaps on a more practical level, say maybe even in Singapore, is to have lanes. Maybe it's a bit difficult now, but certain new towns we can have lanes for cycling. And within a satellite town, it will work, notwithstanding our hot weather. One more suggestion actually is perhaps there's a lot of focus, and I think too much skewed focus in terms of urban development, urban FDI. How about rural or peri-urban FDI, where you have a reverse paradigm of FDI shifting out to the rural areas, and you're looking at resource conservation, you're looking at green farming, how you multiply more yields with less water, so to speak. Maybe you introduce some primary industries, so you have some value added. That will make it more investor friendly. So this may be a consideration because you will have a thinning out of the rural population and a dropping of capacity to farm. So if we have this capacity coming in, I think we will solve some of the food security issues. What do you think? Thank you.
I'll take the last one first, the FDI in the rural areas. Some countries have started doing this for 2 reasons. One, because the inequality. Let's take China. China's first development was in the coastal cities. Now they're moving, including our investment, they're moving into inner side. Because they found out that the inequality has become very high between the people in the coastal areas. So that's FDI may not go, but at least the government resources has gone in, but FDI will go where it makes sense. I don't think we should pressurize, although China could probably. But in a free market society, the foreign investment will go where it makes sense. But the role of the government comes in. So you can always bring in things, which is happening. All our projects in the early days when we work in China in the 80s were in the East Coast, now all in the interior side. So it's happening. Second question on the satellite town, etc. I think this is what many of our studies says. Creating a new one and with a new thinking, if you did not do it, is a missed opportunity. If you did not design today, there's a small pilot that we're doing in China, 80,000 community, where every house will not need more than 15 minutes of walking. Full stop. Shopping center. It's been designed in such a way that you can walk 15 minutes, you'll reach everywhere. But you need to create and Singapore knows this more than anybody else, a viable satellite. Could be 350, 400, whatever is that. But you can design today, and if we're not designing with that, it'll be a mistake. And the third part, the town planning, urban planning, what's happened is, from my own time in the bank, we used to make master plan of the cities in the 80s. And the funding needs for the master plan is so huge. Go and talk to the mayor will say, Bindu, I'm here only for 3 years or 5 years elected. I don't have interest for 20 years. I want to do something, tell me what are 5 years. And I said, look, these are the important thing you could do. No, I'm going to be a mall, I'm going to be a hotel, I'm going to do this, this is profitable, this is good. The guy doesn't think 20 years. And this is a governance issue. Today, the municipal governance issue. But I think without a good city plan, including energy, water, transport, urban, etc. And I hope the architects will take into the new dimension, energy conservations, water conservations, telephone lines. Even in our discussion in the U.S., people were talking about underground transport. Why don't you, most of the transportation could be underground so that you don't have to build much road. The roads are the most expensive real estate. The Orchard Road will be probably the most expensive. So if you can avoid many of those and did quite a bit underneath, they say it could be new ways of thinking how to do this satellite city. So you people, I think you're thinking like urban, are the critical for this. I fully agree on those points.
Is there a final question? Yes.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you, Dr. Lohani, for your presentation. I'm Singpo from the MEM program. Just now, your slide, you showed that there will be a gap between the supply and supply and demand of water in Asia. My question is, from the supply point of view, what would be the three, in your opinion, the three biggest bets for closing the gap between this supply and demand? Thank you.
The shortfall in the supply of water in Asia. So how do you close that gap?
Your three biggest, in your opinion, the three biggest bets for closing the gap.
Okay, one is, I think the simple is remember 3 R's. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Where you can reduce it, and there's a lot of ways you can reduce it, reuse, recycle. And here you reuse and recycle, which means wastewater back into bringing. That's one certainly possibility. In a country like China, this is my presentation in China. I'm talking on water security tomorrow in the Jinghua. There, the one is will be the same. Reusing water again. Don't think water as a one-time commodity. I mean, the simplest way to put that is that you can be used once, twice, third time, fourth time, and as Professor Quest said, put the price right. Number one. The second side of the supply side is the demand side. If you
Price the water.
Yeah, you reduce the demand side. Many, like in my ADB building, I just tried it. We had this slightly bigger than this glass in the cafeteria. I just reduced the size of the glass by half. The water saving was very apparent. People drink half and they leave half. It's surprising. It's very surprising. In meetings, sometimes they give you bottled water. How much is wasted? Nobody finishes the bottle. So I think there is demand side. I'm just giving the simple example. There is a lot. Today, not in Singapore, many of the developing countries, 40% water is lost because the leakage pipelines, etc. You can capture that, right? Like we had in the ADB again. We have hot water. I didn't realize when I was in charge one time, they had the hot water as well as the cold water. I said, in Philippines, where it's always about 30 degrees Celsius, why do you need hot water to wash hands? Turn it off. The water saving was tremendous. Collected rainwaters. We collect about 30% water per day. So there are things we haven't done which you will be able to do both on demand and supply side. And I think when we look forward, we've got to do all of them. We've got to do all of them. The fourth area, which Asia hasn't done it, which will be practical, need to be done. The wastewater we have, we've got to put back in the aquifer where people are drawing out of the groundwater. This is something we're going to suggest to China, because you have the west, you're pumping the water from ground, it's settling, you put it back in the system, you get fresh water again. So there are ways. As Dr. Koa said, optimistically, there are available technology on demand and supply side, which we should use. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please join me in thanking Dr. Lohani?
Very good.
Well, thank you very much, Professor Tomiko and Dr. Lohani. We now like to show our appreciation to three people who have made this possible. So can I invite Mr. Ronnie Tay, CEO of our National Environment Agency, to give tokens of appreciation to Dr. Lohani. These are Peranakan bowls, you know. I thought something, it's very, very unique to Singapore. And to Professor Tomiko. And to our sponsor, Heinrich Jensen. Yeah. Okay, we'd like all of you to remain on stage. Can I ask Lin Heng and Charlotte Meng and George Afori to come on stage? We want to take a group photo. Where's George Afori? We need to... George Afori, by the way, is star power. You know, he sometimes appears as Kofi Annan, and sometimes as Morgan Freeman. Okay, well, we'll all stand on stage. Come on.
One step forward. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. There's a reception outside for all of you that need more food for thought. Thank you very much.